Now, I can't just throw this away. That would be bad for the environment. So, that's better. Recycling is just one way we can help preserve the Earth's resources and reduce the impact we humans have on our environment. Human activities have led to changes in animal populations and ecosystems. Did you know that there are more than 7 billion people on Earth? And that number keeps growing. As the number of people increases, we are using more natural resources. The world's demand for fuel, water, shelter, and food are putting a strain on the Earth. Since the population is increasing, humans are taking up more and more of the land for housing and farming. In the process, trees and forests are being cut and cleared away. This is called deforestation. Deforestation often has negative impacts on the ecosystem of the forest. When the trees are cut down, animals lose their habitats or homes, and the entire ecosystem of the forest changes. Plants in the area are affected too. As wild landscapes are cut down to create housing or business space for people, plants are destroyed. Oftentimes, other animals in the area rely on these plants for food. Often, as building occurs, swamps and marshes are drained and filled with soil. The ecosystems surrounding these waterlands are also negatively and permanently altered by humans. Deforestation has led to a dramatic decrease in the amount of wildlife on Earth. Over the past 2 centuries, wildlife has been dying faster than it can reproduce. This has been particularly true in the world's tropical rainforests, where more than half of the world's plants and animals live. As rainforests are cut down to make room for human activities, entire ecosystems are at risk, leaving some species endangered. If one species of the rainforest becomes endangered, so is its predators and prey. One example of an animal that has become extinct as a result of the rainforest deforestation is the greater short-tailed bat. This bat was believed to have been around since the dinosaur age more than 60 million years ago. Unfortunately, the greater short-tailed bat was last seen in 1967. This amazing little bat lost its home as humans settled the rainforest. The greater short-tailed bat lost access to the caves it called home and the scrubby underbrush that helped it hide from predators. These bats are not alone. Other animals like West African rhinos, passenger pigeons, Caribbean monk seals, and sea minks have also become extinct during the past 200 years. Let's review what we know about how human activities have affected the world's wildlife population. Here's question 1. What do we call the process in which humans clear away forests to make living and working space? A. Socialization. B. Translation. C. Deforestation. D. Population. The correct answer is C. Deforestation is when forests are cleared away. Question 2. How many people are there currently living on Earth? A. About 3 million. B. About 2 billion. C. Nearly 5 billion. D. More than 7 billion. If you answer D, you know that there are more than 7 billion people on Earth. Question 3. Which of the following is an example of an animal that has become extinct? A. Greater short-tailed bat. B. West African rhino. C. Passenger pigeon. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of those animals are extinct. Human activities have led to an increase in air pollution. As the world's population increases, so does the demand for homes, businesses, factories, farms, and power plants. Oftentimes, these produce pollution by releasing chemicals into the atmosphere. The burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas is the major cause of today's air pollution. The chemicals released by fossil fuels are especially harmful to ecosystems. When the chemicals mix with other pollutants, smog is produced. Ugh, smog! that grayish-green haze that can hang in the atmosphere, often around big cities where lots of chemicals are being produced and released. Smog is a mixture of smoke, fog, and chemicals. It has a big impact on plant life. In areas of heavy smog, some plants are completely wiped out, while others struggle to survive in less smoggy areas. One struggling plant is the ponderosa pine tree that grows near Denver, Colorado. Exposure to smog has caused the needles on the ponderosa pine to turn brown and die. When plants like the ponderosa pine are harmed by smog, they are less efficient at photosynthesis, so they produce less oxygen for the plants and animals of the world. Another effect of air pollution is acid rain. This is rain that is produced when carbon dioxide and other chemicals in the air mix with rain clouds. These chemicals make rain more acidic. Acid rain can cause serious harm to the environment. Droplets from acid rain get absorbed into the soil, making it unfit for plant life. In recent years, red spruce and Fraser fir trees in North Carolina have been damaged by acid rain. When trees and plants are damaged or die, animals suffer because they have fewer plants to eat. We are learning how harmful air pollution caused by human activities can be to the environment. Let's review what we've learned so far. Question 1. Which of the following is considered a fossil fuel? A. Coal. B. Natural gas. C. Wind energy. D. A and B. If you answer D, you know that coal and natural gas are fossil fuels. Question 2. Smog is made of chemicals and smoke mixed with what? A. Fog. B. Rain. C. Snow. D. Wind. The correct answer is A. Smog is chemicals, smoke and fog mixed together. Here's question 3. In which state have Fraser firs and red spruce trees been damaged by acid rain? A. California. B. North Carolina. C. Florida. D. Texas. The correct answer is B. Fraser fir and red spruce in North Carolina were damaged. Human-driven activities have led to depletion of the ozone layer. Smog and acid rain are two problems that arise as human activity produces more chemicals that are released into the atmosphere. If we look far into our atmosphere, we can see another way in which chemicals are harming the Earth. 11 to 18 miles above the Earth is a layer of gas called ozone. Ozone is produced naturally by the Earth and is a form of oxygen. Ozone has the important job of absorbing harmful ultraviolet, or UV radiation, from sunlight before it reaches the Earth's surface. Think of the ozone layer as the Earth's sunscreen. Just like sunscreen protects our skin from harmful UV rays, the ozone layer shields the Earth from the sun's ultraviolet rays. Keeping the ozone layer healthy is important for keeping the ecosystems of Earth in balance. Unfortunately, air pollutants called chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, have destroyed parts of the ozone layer. CFCs are a group of gases that are used in aerosol spray cans, styrofoam, and as coolants in refrigerators, freezers, and air conditioners. Once released, CFCs can stay in the atmosphere for many years. CFCs react with the ozone layer and causes it to break down or degrade. Now, every spring, a giant hole roughly the size of the United States develops in the ozone layer over Antarctica. At the North Pole, a smaller sized hole develops each year over the Arctic. These holes in the ozone layer allow harmful UV rays to enter the Earth's atmosphere. As these rays hit the water, plankton, the tiny organisms that are the base of the food chain in oceans, are killed. Whales and other fish in the sea rely on plankton as a food source. As a result, our entire ecosystem is challenged by the holes in the ozone layer. Harmful UV rays also damage plants by altering or changing the molecules that control plant growth. Smaller plants don't grow well. In fact, scientists believe that peas, soybean, lettuce, and squash are most affected by the harmful UV rays that travel through the hole in the ozone layer. We have learned so much about how air pollutants have harmed the Earth's ozone layer. Let's review. Question 1. The ozone layer is made up of a form of what type of gas? A. Carbon dioxide. B. Hydrogen. C. Helium. D. Oxygen. The correct answer is D. The ozone layer is made up of a form of oxygen. Here's question 2. From what does the ozone layer shield the Earth? A. Hail. B. Ultraviolet rays. C. Wind. D. Erosion. If you answered B, you know that the ozone layer shields the Earth from harmful UV rays. Question 3. What is the name of the tiny organisms that are at the base of the ocean's food chain? A. Plankton. B. Coral. C. Krill. D. Herring. The correct answer is A. Plankton are the organisms that are at the base of the ocean's food chain. Human-driven activities have led to global climate change. There are other ways that human activities can affect the atmosphere on our planet. The Earth's atmosphere is made up of several layers of gases that act as a blanket. The sun gives off rays of heat called radiation. These rays travel through the atmosphere to warm the Earth. The Earth then releases some of its heat back into the atmosphere to warm the planet. The blanket layer of gases stops some of this heat from escaping into space. This process is called the greenhouse effect. However, human activities have produced gases that dramatically increase the greenhouse effect. These are known as greenhouse gases. The amount of these gases in our atmosphere is on the rise. Gases like carbon dioxide and methane are causing more heat to be trapped in the atmosphere, which is causing an increase in the Earth's surface temperature. Much of the carbon dioxide in our atmosphere comes from the burning of fossil fuels. However, it can also be produced by power plants, exhaust from cars, and even from cutting down and burning of trees. Where does the methane that is released into the atmosphere come from? Well, two really gross places: bacteria that grows in landfills and cow waste. The increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere means that more heat is being trapped and the Earth is warmer. Scientists are very concerned about how quickly this warming is happening. A rise in the overall temperature of just 2 to 4 degrees can cause weather patterns all over the world to change. Changing weather patterns can make it difficult for some plants to grow, and plants may find it difficult to survive in parts of the world where they used to thrive. Warmer temperatures cause ocean and sea waters to expand and polar ice caps to melt.
About a third of the ice cover is gone, about 2/3 of the volume, and about half the thickness has gone. And ice is a great bright reflector. It reflects a lot of the sun's energy. Whereas the ocean is dark, it absorbs the energy. So as the ocean absorbs the energy because of the melting ice, it increases temperatures, and this further melts the ice. We see a continued feedback of increasing temperatures and loss of ice.
As the polar ice caps melt and flow into the sea, this added water can cause flooding in low-lying coastal areas. The people of the Netherlands often have to deal with this problem because more than half of the country is at or below sea level. The Dutch people have to deal with the dangers of flooding and with the problem of contaminated drinking water that can occur. Drinking water becomes contaminated as flood water from the sea mixes with areas of fresh drinking water. Global warming can be a global problem. Let's review what we have learned about climate change. Here's question 1. Carbon dioxide can be produced from which of the following? A. Fossil fuels. B. Power plants. C. Cutting and burning trees. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of these things can produce carbon dioxide. Question 2. Which of the following is a major source of methane in the atmosphere? A. Algae in oceans. B. Cow waste. C. Bacteria in landfills. D. B and C. If you answer D, you know that bacteria in landfills and cow waste produce methane. Let's try question 3. Which of the following can occur as a result of climate change? A. Rising seawaters. B. Melting polar ice caps. C. Coastal flooding. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of these can result from climate change. Humans can make changes to reduce impact on Earth's systems. Although we humans can't completely eliminate the negative impact we have on Earth's systems, individuals and communities are making strides in protecting the Earth's resources and ecosystems. Many governments around the world have taken steps to protect wildlife that has become endangered because of deforestation.
Someday our children and our children's children will look at us in the eye and they'll ask us, did we do all that we could when we had the chance to deal with this problem and leave them a cleaner, safer, more stable world? And I want to be able to say, yes, we did. And if we can come together and get this right, we can define a sustainable future for your generation.
Laws have been created and passed to regulate fishing and hunting and to stop the destruction of wildlife habitats. Wildlife refuges have been established in many parts of the world. People around the globe have also worked to stop the use of known pollutants, to reduce air pollution, and to protect the ozone layer. Today, more than 168 countries have signed the Montreal Protocol, a treaty which drastically reduces the amount of CFCs that are manufactured and used each year. People are helping the environment in other ways too. Many companies have listened to consumers who have asked for styrofoam packing materials to be replaced with earth-friendly materials that break down more easily, like crumpled newspaper or cardboard. Many people have also made efforts to reduce waste by reusing and recycling materials. These efforts reduce the amount of greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere and help to protect our planet. Some communities even plant trees to replace those that have been cut down. This not only gives animals a place to live, but it also provides more oxygen for our atmosphere. More than ever, humans are aware of the impact we have on our Earth's systems. People are taking some active steps to keep our Earth healthy. Let's review what we have learned. Question 1. What steps have humans taken to protect wildlife? A. Create and pass laws regulating hunting and fishing. B. Create more zoos. C. Encourage more people to become veterinarians. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Laws that regulate hunting and fishing are helping preserve wildlife. Here's question 2. How many countries have agreed to follow the Montreal Protocol? A. 25. B. 50. C. 168. D. More than 200. If you answer C, you know that 168 countries have signed the Montreal Protocol Treaty. Question 3. Which of the following helps protect the Earth's systems? A. Recycling. B. Cutting down trees. C. Using fossil fuels. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Recycling helps protect the Earth's systems. Thinking question. What are some of the ways that you can preserve the Earth's resources in your everyday life?